I made more money from Facebook monetization of those videos than I did on the actual tour.
It's February, love is in the air and definitely on our feeds. Coming up, we're chatting with ADHD Love, the creator couple behind some of Facebook's most relatable relationship content. But first, let's look at some of the different ways people are creating content around dating and relationships, from silly skits to real-life love stories. Alaire Thomas is a comedian who turns real-life relationship moments into bite-sized Facebook gold, from the silly to the sweet. As well as being relatable, their content feels personal and authentic, so their followers are invested in them as a couple. Another Facebook page I'm smitten with is Lucia Leeson, better known online as Motherfunk. She's built a whole community around a unique idea, dancing to voice notes. And not just any voice notes. She invites her followers to send her the most outrageous messages they've received. Then she gives them choreography and performs alongside the audio, turning them into something joyful. Finally, on an episode about love, we can't not mention Meet Cute NYC. They capture real-life love stories from the streets of New York City. We see all kinds of relationships with every video opening on the street, with the interviewer approaching people with the same question. They talk to all kinds of couples, from the recently slid into my DMs to the half a century in. This format is simple and spontaneous and often turns into heartwarming stories. Meet Cute's success shows the power of real unscripted stories. It's a reminder that sometimes the most compelling content isn't polished, it's just real. Of course, there are also many couples making content together. I wonder what that's like. We'll find out now, as we have ADHD Love, aka Rich and Rox, here in the studio. They've built a huge community of over 1.3 million followers on Facebook by sharing the realities of relationships and neurodiversity. Let's go find out how. Hello, Rich and Rox. Great to be chatting with you.
Hello.
Hello, great to see you.
Tell us about your journey so far as Facebook creators.
I mean, it started in a very, very on-brand way because we run an ADHD account, and it was literally an idea at 12 o'clock one night. I was like, we need to make a video on the internet. And that was it. That was how it began. So it was we never like set out to be creators. Kind of ended up doing it, but I think that's very on brand.
I wanted to do it the next day, but she was like, no, it needs to be now. We were in bed.
Yeah.
And then it started. ADHD Love started.
There you go. Didn't even think about the brand name. I wish we had.
Yeah.
Does what it says on the tin.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
What was that video though, out of curiosity? That first video.
So it was to do with the monthly cycle that one may go through. And my partner dating someone who often forgot that monthly cycle was coming, despite it coming every month for 25 years. So it was a video about that. Probably too much information, shouldn't have been shared on the internet, and what literally is what we do for a full-time job now. So I don't know what the lesson in that is.
I think though that although that was obviously probably too much information, the videos that followed were just like real life. So it was about like Rox going downstairs to make coffee, forgetting what she was doing, coming back with 3 business ideas and no coffee. So it was just like real life stuff. It was quite poor quality as well to start with, wasn't it? The actual filming of it. It was just really natural.
Yeah.
What kind of response did you get from that very first video? Like, if you had this thought to put it out, were you checking analytics? Were you looking at like the back end of it?
I wasn't. I was more looking at the comments, because it was, from the very first few videos, things kind of started to do well. And you put something like that out on the internet, and this was a few years ago now, so I think the situation with ADHD and neurodivergence as a whole has changed. But at that time, for the age I was, it still felt very shameful to admit that I was behind on the laundry, not very good at cleaning, always late, losing stuff all the time. Have I cleaned my teeth today? I don't know. That was the stuff that you just had to hide. So to put it out on the internet and then have other people saying, oh my God, me too, me too, me too. That was kind of the coolest thing for me at the start. And I think probably the first year of the creator journey was more me just realising it isn't just me. There's so many other people, and we need to kind of say this stuff that we've been so ashamed about out loud. What about you though? Because you're definitely more analytical than me.
I am the complete opposite. I have and always will be obsessed with the analytics. So even with the first videos, I was looking at the engagement rate, the views, and it was like every video. It was like they're watching all of these videos all the way through, loads of comments, loads of engagement, and it was like we couldn't like miss. It was like every video was really, really good. And then yeah, I think my obsession with the professional dashboard on Facebook has been there ever since, every day.
Literally every night in bed, he is checking the Facebook analytics. You look over at the phone and it's kind of like one of your favourite things to do, isn't it?
And how is it working together?
So lots of people ask that question and we get a lot of comments on Facebook. I don't know how you guys work together. I see it completely the other way, which is he's literally my favourite person in the world other than my dog.
Other than the dog?
You're on an equal footing, but I can't work with the dog, unfortunately. So we get to spend loads of time together. Rich used to work full-time in a bank and he's left that job for this career. I used to work kind of full-time as a songwriter. I kind of still do because I like to burn myself out. But we spend every day together and we build something together that we care about, and it's something to always talk about and to grow together. So for me, it is literally like the best thing ever. It's like a life hack to spend more time with your partner.
It is also like we've got really different strengths, as Rox has said, and content creation, certainly nowadays, is like running a business. So like coming from the bank for 20 years, we know what my strengths are, which will be probably holding us to account, making sure videos get created, posted, looking at all the analytics, like all the data, and you're the ideas person. So we know that we know each other's strengths and we respect that. So we sort of stay in our own lanes, don't we? I don't argue with you about creative. I wouldn't, and you wouldn't.
Look at the analytics in bed every night. No.
I like this. You've perfected the short skit format. There's no denying that. Tell us about your approach to reels.
So I think the thing that we've always done and we always come back to is, are these real life moments? Did this actually happen? So we both have a notes in our phone, and it is, I don't like how healthy it is. We are just kind of watching me in the day and just being like, oh, that's ridiculous. And it goes in the notes. And that's really where the ideas bank has come from. And the cool thing about that is, oh, what am I going to post tomorrow? Don't worry, I've got you, because there's always something silly or interesting or that does highlight a struggle that will come up.
I think the one thing that we do though with every video, so the formats will change. Sometimes there'll be music, sometimes it'll be talking to camera, sometimes it'll be skits. But we always say like it either needs to educate or entertain, and like even better if it's both. But if we've created some videos that sort of don't hit either of them and they don't really land with people, it's just sort of pointless. So we always go back to the beginning sort of mantra of, does it entertain, is it funny, or is it educational, or is someone going to get something out of it? The length of them as well, like you have to be willing to adapt and change depending on what seems to be going well at the moment. So we went through a period of probably 15 to 20 second reels. Then we went through probably a 6-month period of doing minute long reels that did really well, but that we're sort of always changing and always seeing and always, I guess, receiving feedback on how many people watch it and what the engagement and what the analytics tell us. And then we're always sort of willing to change things and try new things.
Is there a reel that blew up that you didn't expect?
ADHD walks.
Yeah, I think so.
We sometimes are like, right, how do we try and get a bit of education, like a Trojan horse, put it in a kind of comedy cloak? ADHD walks was not that. It was literally like a video when it's like, oh, let's just film this. It could be fun. It could be a total flop. We've done it a few times. I think the biggest one was maybe 9 million.
Yeah.
So I don't understand, but there you go. People on Facebook loved it. So.
Wow, I think it's so resonant.
It also, with that, because there was text on screen and that we weren't talking, you could watch it without sound. So it's got a bigger reach potential.
Now you have 1.3 million followers on Facebook. How have you grown such a large community?
Consistency.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's probably you. I think for me, in the first few months, it was an obsession. It was a hyper-focus. It's very much an ADHD account with an ADHD person, which has a lot of benefits and also some cons. But for Rich, you've got like more obsessed with the analytics and looking at all that stuff. And, you know, mentioned earlier about working together, if it was just me on my own, it would have been a few months and then I would have been off doing something else. So I think consistency and having, you know, someone on your team that just keep going, even on some days where you might feel a bit tired.
Facebook as a platform as well, it really lends itself into the community feel. So you've always got very similar names, very similar people watching the videos in the comment section. And we probably pride ourselves the fact that the comment section of our reels is quite a safe place to be. We have someone working on them all the time, so people are getting interacted with, engaged with. Comments are getting deleted if they need to be deleted, but it's just a really safe, unashaming place to be, where people can sort of feel and be vulnerable.
And that's Rich's dad.
Yeah.
Rich's dad is our Facebook moderator.
I love that so much. It's like just having a second brain, like an external hard drive. Flag if there's anything important. What advice do you have for other creators?
Good lighting, for one, is probably the most important thing. That loads of people that aren't in this space don't realise how important it is. The better the lighting, the better the engagement. And I suppose it's all around that first 3 seconds. If they're looking at a nice, bold, bright picture, and it's usually bright because Rox's clothes are all bright, they're more likely to stay for that first 3 or 4 seconds, which means they watch more of the video. And consistency, and patience. I suppose you can't expect for it all to kick off in a good way straight away, so just keep at it.
I think that's a really good tip. And do you have any specific advice for other content creators with ADHD?
An ADHD brain struggles with a lot of things in life, and very often you develop a rather low self-esteem. If you struggle with what people call basic tasks like laundry and being on time and filling in forms, you can start to think that you're not worth very much. But people with ADHD also score very, very highly on creativity and empathy. Those things are gold dust on the internet. But that creativity, that bit in your brain that gets obsessed with something, that learns everything about it, that forces you to make a video at 12 o'clock at night, that part that has maybe, been a little bit ignored or shamed, it's incredibly valuable in content creation.
What advice do you have for other creators?
I think unless you're doing it purely for love, which some people might be, have a look at all of your monetization options. There are a fair few on Facebook. There's some really cool bonuses as well. Like, that's been my obsession for the last 2 weeks, trying to hit the Facebook monetization bonuses where you just get extra money. So the one I've just completed for the last 2 weeks, it was like, if you earn an amount of money, you get this much as a bonus. So it encourages you, and that can be hundreds of dollars every time.
When we were first doing content creation, you are doing it all for free, and it very often is a passion project, and you're building a community. And we've been able to write books and do some really cool stuff and come here and chat to you. But the Facebook monetization options actually make content creation a job that can fully sustain yourself. And we've noticed that in the last year.
Well, Facebook specifically, by a mile, is the best platform for monetization, for the content we do anyway.
And something from my side as well, I have another Facebook page, because obviously I need more than one job, where I'm a singer, and I have, maybe 300,000 followers there. So it's a lot smaller than what we're doing, but there's still a little community there. And I hadn't monetized that page because I'm unorganized. And Rich last year was like, how are you not monetized? So he took my phone, went through, did all the setup, which seemed a little bit impossible to me, but it took you a while.
Yeah,
it's hard for me,
yeah.
Come on. So he got it done, and I was like, oh, well, whatever. Like, I don't think I'm going to get paid very much. Last year in November, I was on tour for a couple of weeks, and I had a videographer with me, so I was posting more content than I would normally do. And I made more money from Facebook monetization of those videos than I did on the actual tour, which was a 2.5-week sold out tour. So also it isn't just for kind of content creators, it's also for artists and for musicians, where it's a very, very, very difficult time to be in that industry at the moment. If you can step up to the plate and start making reels and start making content, you can actually feel like that's funded my next couple of music videos.
That's such good advice for our creator community. It's been so great chatting with you. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much for having us.
Well, I hope your hearts are suitably warmed for the season. We'll see you next time on the feed.